This video is entitled Bid List, Print Estimates, NetPricer. NetPricer is a utility that can be used to electronically receive a quotation from your preferred supply house. With it, you can compare the price that was used to prepare your estimate with the latest price from the supply house. You can even use the NetPricer program to update the net price field in your parts file automatically. To enable the NetPricer update feature, please see the Maintenance Set up User Access Rights video for help in applying this feature. In order to use the NetPricer system, you must first set up your credentials using the General Preferences module in the WinTRF system. If you have not added your credentials, please review the Maintenance Set up General Preferences video for help in adding your credentials. Distributors that have been approved for use with the NetPricer system are added using the following procedure. We exit the print module, we exit the bid list, we go to Maintenance, Data File Maintenance, Vendors. We double click on New Vendor and we add our vendor in the Edit Vendor Information form. We have become accustomed to using numbers in the range of 400, starting at 400 for our vendors. So I'm going to use 403, and then I'm clicking my Tab key to get to the code field. I type in NP for NetPricer. All vendor associated with NetPricer must have a code of NP. Then I hit my Tab key and I enter my next vendor. Now we recommend that you use the vendor name associated with the subscription that you got from NetPricer. Many times vendors are in multiple cities and each vendor will have a city code assigned to his name. So you would probably put in the name of your vendor plus his city code. My next vendor dash city would probably be similar to what you would be putting in. The rest of the contact information is optional. You can put it in there so that you have that information for reference purposes. You can always come back in here quickly and use this as a contact list. The only other field that's required is the NetPricer vendor name. NetPricer assigns a unique vendor name to each vendor associated with your account. Okay, my NetPricer name. So now I've got my fields and the required fields that I must have. Vendor number, code, company, and NetPricer vendor name. I click the check mark to save that information. I click the edit box. The rest of the fields on here are important to know. The minus sign would delete a vendor. The little up arrow would edit a vendor. So if you get change information for an editor, vendor, you could come in here and do that. But I don't have any of those things to do, so I'll just click the door to get out of here and return to my vendor list. Now I close my vendor list and I go back to my estimate, my bid list, and I go back into print my estimate so that I can use the NetPricer module. I choose my print format. It creates my work files. Now I can just go into NetPricer. I can select my vendor, and I have all the vendors that I've assigned in here. So I can have multiple vendors. There's nothing wrong with having multiple vendors. The only one that I've associated with my codes is the test distributor at the top. So that's what I'm going to use for this quotation. I request a quote, and you can always look at the bottom of the screen to see what's happening, and it'll give you error reports and things of that nature that you can report back to tech support in case you need to. When the program has already received the information, it displays it in this spreadsheet format in this grid for you. I'm going to go ahead and now print it. If you had enabled the update option, there would be another button up here that would say update that you could use to update your prices. So I'm going to click on print, and it presents a whole list of different NetPricer reports, 1A, 1Z. My preference is 2P. You can choose all of them and print each one of them and see which one you prefer. Some of them have unique features, double lines and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and print this one. Click OK. And this is the report that I get back. I get back the unit price and the extended price from the vendor. I get my takeoff price and my extended price so that I can compare this quickly across to each other. None of this information is real. All of this data is coming from a test database. That's why it says unknown product, and that's why it's not saying very much. It doesn't give you differences in prices, so don't let that concern you. Your reports will be much different than this. You will also get back fields, and things that are important are they will give you they use a cross-referencing system to, if the UPC number that you supplied for them to price doesn't exist in the database at your vendor will give you a replacement UPC number. They'll cross-reference it to some other value item that is similar to what you selected, and you can use that to go back in and adjust your database to make it better. So that's how the report looks and how your system how the NetPricer system will work. You can use different other formats. I'll print one other format before I close out of here, just so you can see what this one looks like. This is a little bit different report. You might prefer this report to the report that I showed you earlier. That concludes the BidList Print Estimates NetPricer video.